Hello, 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 everyone. It's Brenda Douglas, aka Real Estate Diva. And in this episode, we're going to be talking about some side hustles or things that you can do to increase your income so that you can purchase your home. Now, let me say just a few things before we get started. Number one, the goal is not for you to increase your income so you can buy a bigger house and spend more money. We want you to stay within your comfort zone, right? Based on your salary versus the increase, right? So you have to find out what your comfort zone is in terms of paying your bills and comfortably being able to live. Only you can decide that or determine that, right? So what we want to do, though, you have one of the things about purchasing a home is that it requires a large upfront payment. And I'm talking thousands of dollars, especially in this market, right? So you want you want to have money to be able to accommodate that, right? So we want to increase your income so that you will have money on hand so that if you don't use all of the money, like let's say you purchase a home with a program, or through a program and you don't use all the money, well, you can use that money to put into the house like furnishings, maybe get new appliances, brand new appliances, things of that nature, right? So the point is the money is going to come in handy, right? So we want to be able to increase your income so that you will have money on hand once you move in. And also some of you need more money for your closing costs, your inspections and down payment and things of that nature. The other thing I want to say is the type of side gigs that you want to focus on, or side hustles, side jobs, whatever you want to call it, that you want to focus on are the ones that will bring in $20 or more. Okay, so those are the only ones. We're not going to waste our time on the ones that are less than that. Okay, because it's not going to bring in enough, right? So you want to focus on, or we're going to focus on gigs that will bring in $20 or more. If you want something bad enough, you have to be willing to do something that will require sacrifice, something that will get you to your destiny or what you want to have happen, right? And in this case, it is purchasing a home. So sometimes you have to make sacrifices, right? Even if it's temporarily, okay? You don't have to keep up with this side gig and hustling all through your retirement years or what have you. But just do it so that you'll have extra income, okay? Especially if your credit is low. If your credit is low, then you unfortunately will have a higher interest rate, right? So some of you can use that money to pay down your credit so that you can get a lower interest rate so that you can not pay as much every month, right? The point is that if you want it bad enough, you'll make it happen, right? So in this episode, like I said, we're going to talk about some side gigs. But first, the quote of the episode. Nelson Mandela once said that I learned that courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. In other words, you're going to be afraid, you're going to have uncertainty, but you feel the fear and do it anyway. Now listen, most people struggle with not having enough money up front to purchase a home, right? Well, listen, mastering this skill of being able to generate extra income will not only help you to procure your home investment, but it will also help you to retain it, right? And even preserve the investment, right? Especially when unexpected home maintenance problems occur. You will know how to generate the income. You will know how to save the money so that you will be able to, so you will be prepared in the event that those things happen, unexpected repairs and things of that nature, right? Some key points to remember. First and foremost, listen, we're going to focus only on side hustles that make us $20 or more per hour, right? We're not going to waste time with the $10, $11. No. We're going to aim for $20 an hour and over, right? We're going to do something that we enjoy, right? When you love what you're doing, it's not hard work, right? When you love what you do it with satisfaction, right? So we're going to focus on or identify the things that we enjoy doing, right? Now, it is good to have a side hustle that could possibly be a home-based business. Guys, there are so many benefits to having a home-based business, including writing off some of your housing expenses, right? And other things, right? That's a whole nother podcast, and I will do one on that one, right? But you want to make sure that the side hustle is I want to say good enough to become a home-based business, right? The other thing is, and lastly, you want to get paid now, not later, right? Excuse me. There's some side hustles, right, that takes time to build. Like, for example, YouTube channels, bloggers, and things of that nature. Like, people get paid off those things. However, and podcasts is the other thing. People get paid off those things. Yes, it is correct, and yes, you can make a lot of money doing it. However, it takes time to build. Okay, we don't have time. We don't want to make time, right? We want the money to come within a week or two or instant, right? For example, one of the gigs that I'm going to share, which is Fiverr. Let's just jump right into it. Fiverr is a gig, and they have all kinds of opportunities, from graphic designs to writing to doing video and graphics and things of that nature, like voiceovers, ebooks, writing ebooks. Like the opportunities are endless, right? I am going to put a link to that in the description, right? But Fiverr is a great way. Listen, you can have up to 7 gigs that you can start, so that you can help people and then also get paid from it, right? 7 gigs. If you make all 7 of those gigs, make $20 the least, okay? Remember what I said, we're not going for the 10 and the 5. Yes, you want to be nice to people or what have you, but right now you have a goal to reach, right? You have to buy a home, right? So we don't have time for no $10 and $11. We need to think big. And even though I'm saying 20, you can think higher than that. You can do higher than that. Some of you have skills that'll take you higher. So we're going to capitalize on it, right? So Fiverr is the first side hustle. So what you're going to do is you're going to go onto the Fiverr, and that's F as in flower, I-V as in victory, E-R-R. And I'm going to put, again, the link to this in the description. And yes, I do get paid as an affiliate. But however, you can, I get paid one time off that. And I think it's like $10 or something like that. Anyway, I get paid one time, and you can too. And I'm going to put the link in the description, but you choose I want you to look at all of the opportunities that they have on Fiverr. And again, you're going to make your gig, you're going to make them $20 or more. And like I said, you can have up to 7 gigs at one time, right? So that is the first side hustle. The other thing I forgot to mention about Fiverr is the fact that you get paid immediately. It doesn't take a few days for you to get paid. You get paid immediately. As soon as you accept it, actually they request well, let me back up for a second. When they put in a request for your service, they pay you immediately, okay? And it goes right into your bank account. Okay, so they make the payment, and then the service goes to you. Actually, their request goes to you. And then you have your time frame in which you do the gig, right? So let's say you set your time for 24 hours. So in 24 hours, you will deliver the service. Well, in 24 hours, you deliver the service and they release the money. You get paid instantly with Fiverr. The next one is some kind of food delivery service. Now, nowadays they have so many. I've done Instacart before. Okay, I've done Instacart the shopper, and I've also done Instacart the delivery. Now, let me just say that your location determines how busy they keep you. Okay. And then also what you decide to do. For example, when I did the Instacart shopping portion, well, I was in the store for several hours, right? I was in the store for several hours and then the line was long, right? I was just not feeling that at all, right? So, and I felt like it was cutting into my delivery time. Like I felt like I could have delivered so many more orders within that time frame. So you have to decide what is best for you. But nowadays, like I said, they have so many different food delivery services. They have Uber Eats. They have Instacart. They have, I was just thinking of one, DoorDash. They have so many different food delivery services now. There's one I think called Shipped. Like there are so many. I want you to do your research before you jump in. I also want you to consider your distance, the travel, right? Because if the gig is only going to pay you enough to pay for your gas, it may not be worth it, right? It may not be worth it, especially now with the gas prices being crazy like they are. So you need to really plan this out. Don't just jump in there. You need to ask yourself, what areas do I want to work in? For you ladies, which areas are safe for me to be in? And actually nowadays for men as well. Anyway, what areas do you want to work in? And then also, what time do you want to work? How often do you work? All of that plays a factor in terms of how much you get paid. Right? Because you're paid per delivery, right? So you want to keep in mind that the further out you go, the less deliveries you could possibly make. All of those things you just need to research and you need to consider, weigh the options, look at all of the delivery services to determine which one is the best fit for you. Some of them have criteria in terms of the type of car that you have to drive and things of that nature. Listen, again, you're going to do your research and you're going to compare all of them and then you're going to make your choice. Again, we are going for the ones that are going to give us the most money. So food delivery service is number 2. Now, there are also, what is it? I don't want to call it. What is it? It's kind of like a carpool. You got Uber and you got Lyft. They are ride shares. Ride shares is what they are. Now, I have never done Uber and I've never done Lyft. I just don't feel comfortable about that. However, I do know people who do and they enjoy it, right? So to each his own. However, I will say that from what I understand, they can get paid pretty well, especially when you live in those areas where there is no public transportation. Like here, we have public transportation, right? Although some areas within the DMV, also known as District of Columbia, Maryland, and Virginia, some areas within the DMV is not metro accessible. And so those could be great target areas. Why? Because people need to get to the grocery store, right? People need to go to work. People want to get home faster. So those are opportunities. Again, there is criteria that you need to meet. Some of those drive services, you have to have a certain, year vehicle. Your vehicle has to be a certain year. I don't know the criteria for that because, again, I have never done that myself, been a driver. However, I do know people who have, and they seem to like it, and they seem to do well financially. So check that out, right? Okay, the other thing is, do you know that there are some people who rent out their cars? They actually rent out their cars for a fee. Now, it makes me nervous, but they do it, kind of like the car rental, like Enterprise. You can rent the cars for a day, a weekend, or what have you. There are people who rent out their vehicles as well as the fun things. Like, for example, the slingshots and the motorcycles and things. They rent those out as well, right? So that could be a possibility for you. It could be a hustle, a side hustle, a way to bring in money. No, they don't get paid $20 an hour. They get paid much more, but it is an opportunity for you to possibly look into, if you have more than one vehicle, or if you're just okay with that. I don't know what how they set that up legally. I don't know in terms of keeping them safe. I don't know, but you can always do the research, and it is an opportunity, right? Okay. Do you know that nowadays people are getting very, very creative with their living space? So much so that they are renting out rooms, right? So let's say you live in an apartment right now and you have an extra bedroom. Well, you can rent that room out, right? Pay half the rent and then save the rest of save the money that they're paying you, right? If you're interested in moving into a bigger home, but you have that whole basement, rent it out, guys. Rent it out and make more money, right? Make money, spend half the amount that you need to, and then save the rest. Okay. So that is another way to, have like a hustle type of thing. So you're going to rent out some space. And I've seen people get really, really creative with that, even renting out living rooms. Like, yeah, renting out living room space for the person to sleep in the living room, especially in areas where it is extremely expensive or can be very expensive, like Washington, D.C. I have definitely seen people rent out a living room or maybe a big space that they have in the place. So rent out some space in your home. Garages. I've seen people rent out garages also. So, get creative with that in terms of bringing in extra income. Okay, now some of you have items in your home. We all have items in our home that we no longer use, or we can just sacrifice it for money, right? Sell items that are in your home, things that you no longer want, things that you no longer use. Instead of just giving them away to the goodwill. Right now, you're on a mission to save as much money as possible, to make as much money as possible. So you don't have to dig into like your 401k and things of that nature to purchase a home, right? Save as much money as possible by doing these gigs and these hustles so that you can pour in some money. Sell some items on Etsy, on Craigslist, on Facebook Marketplace, on Instagram. Sell items that you no longer have, or you can buy wholesale items and then sell those as well. I also want to encourage you to go to flea markets, sell items at flea markets. The point is you want to turn the items that you have into a profit, the things that you no longer wear, or maybe no longer wear, or that maybe, it's too big or no longer fits into your life, right? It could be an oversized sofa. It could be that you have more than one, get rid of one, sell one. I don't want to say get rid of it, sell it, turn it into cash. Sometimes things look better or is easier to let go when you see it as cash, or you think of it as turning it into money, especially when you're trying to accomplish a goal. So sell items. There are many different places where you can sell. You can sell again on Facebook, Craigslist, things of that nature. The thought came to me about Etsy. If you are a crafter and you know how to, oh man, there's so many crafts that people do nowadays. I'm in this group, love it. And the craft ideas are just amazing. Anyway, if you are a crafter, if you crochet, if you if you love how to make, jewelry, there's so many crafts that people do. If you are an arts and craft person, draw, painting, if you are an arts and craft person, use Etsy. And also Etsy, the other thing with Etsy is that Etsy, you can sell not only homemade things, but digital products, ebooks. It could be a checklist. You can sell items like that, posters, flyers, brochures that you make. You can sell them on Etsy. There's so many things on Etsy, and I'm saying Etsy, ETSY.com, Etsy. Oh my goodness, if you are a crafter or if you have digital products, there's so many things being sold on Etsy. So look for ways to bring in money that way. Use your talents and your skills to bring in money. Some of you are great speakers. Some of you are great motivators. Use that skill to make money. Some of you are excellent party planners, right? You can plan a get together to the T, and in your mind you see the decorator. I had this friend once, and actually we're still friends, but I'm just saying I don't see her often. So she can walk into a room and then visualize where everything's going to go, what colors, what how the space, how she can fit certain things into the space. If that is you, if God has given you that vision, use it to make money, right? Use it to achieve your goal. You have that gift for a reason, right? And that reason is to not only bless other people, but then also it bless yourself, right? It's like a double-edged sword, right? A win-win. So bless someone else with your gifts and talent, and then use that to make yourself some money so that you can buy a home, right? All right. So some of you live in spaces where you have an empty parking space, like you're not using it. You don't even have a vehicle. You're not using it, right? Rent out that parking space. Rent out that parking space and earn extra money. There are people who are even renting out a garage for storage. I mean, I think that's pretty interesting, but they are doing it nonetheless. So if you have an empty parking space, like you have a designated parking space, but you're not using one of them or any of them, rent that space out to someone who can use it, especially here in the DMV. Maybe you have a parking space that stays empty all day long, and yet someone needs to be able to commute back and forth to work, or they need to be able to get closer to work, drive closer to work, and go into work or what have you. So rent out your parking space, rent out your garage, right? Make some extra money that way. If you enjoy administrative type of work, organizing and planning, making calls, writing letters, things of that nature. If you enjoy doing those things, then why not become a virtual assistant? Become a virtual assistant. Then they also have, for real estate agents, a real estate assistant. And you're basically providing services or helping the real estate agent, right? So there are things that you can do in that capacity if that's what you enjoy, or if it's something that you may want to start dabbling in. There are some organizations that you can, I don't know if I would call them organizations, but there are some gigs that you can do that are virtual assistants, and they also have that in Fiverr as well. Become a virtual assistant, and that can actually grow to become actually a home-based business as well. So become a virtual assistant or a personal assistant or a real estate assistant, some type of assistant to make extra income. If you love lawn care, mowing the lawn, putting flowers, landscape, I guess, if you will, mowing the lawn, trimming the edges. I don't know if you would call it trimming the edges, but if that's what you enjoy, if you love yard work, okay, if you love yard work of any sort, whether it's mowing the lawn or shoveling the snow out of the yard, the driveway. there are ways that you can do that as a way to make money, especially now since the seasons are changing. It's getting warmer. Let me tell you one thing about the grass is that it will faithfully grow every weekend, right? Just about every weekend or every other weekend, the grass will grow, right? So it is really, really beneficial to have someone who is there to service that need, right? So if you enjoy the grass, if the cut grass doesn't bother you, then that is definitely a way in which you can make lots more than $20 an hour. That is something that you can do. So mow the lawn or offer some type of lawn care service. If you love dogs, you can pet sit or even dog walk, guys. It's really, pets stay home for the most part by themselves during the day, right? And so it's helpful to a dog owner to have someone to go and walk their dogs during the day. It gives the dog a mental break, right? And then also, dogs love being outdoors, especially I know mine do. They love being outdoors, right? So why not make some money if you love dogs now? Let me just say, you gotta love dogs. You can't have all these allergies. Like I have allergies, but my dogs are hyperallergenic. But if you are the type of person who can deal with that and you're not affected by the dander and the hair and everything, then that could be something for you. Dog walking or even dog grooming, dog walking. Or pet sitting, staying in the home while the owners go out, maybe for a night on the town or maybe for the weekend. I don't like leaving my dogs, so, that could be really, really helpful to a dog owner. Pets are family and people feel like their pets are their babies. They really, really love them with all their heart, right? So you would be really, really helping them out by doing or offering that type of service. All right, start a cleaning service, right? If you love to clean, wipe things down, like if it bothers you when things are dirty, that may be the way to go for you, right? Start a cleaning service. Same thing for organization. If you love to put things or determine what type of or what is it, home to give products like containers and things of that nature. If that is your thing, then start a home organization business or side hustle. Same thing for the cleaning. People don't necessarily like to clean. You would be a big service, and you can charge with the cleaning. You can charge, actually the organization, I would imagine also, you can charge per square feet. So, the bigger the house, the more you charge, right? Or you can do also companies, clean companies, have yourself get a team or what have you, get some, team to help you clean and things of that nature. So those are some options for you. And then finally, last but not least, teach a class. Teach a class. Listen, we all know something. We've all learned something and we know something that we can share, right? So why not use it to your advantage and teach a class? Teach a class and make some money, right? And there's so many things that you can teach because, like I said, we all know something. We've all learned something. Anything that you can teach. And so don't think of teaching as in just grade school. No, you can teach hobbies. You can teach methods. You can teach something that you've learned. Teach it to someone else, and you can even create a course online through, it's called Udemy. Teach a course online, and there are so many others where you can, I forget the other ones, but Udemy is one that I use all the time, right? So teach a course and then record the course. So you can do one online, and that one is pretty much like, what is it? You record the course, and then you upload it. I'm going to do that, actually. Then you upload it onto Udemy, and then all year long, all day long, people will buy this course, right? And so you can set your course for $15.99, let's say, right? And then there are thousands of people who will register for this class. And I mean, and when I say thousands, I mean like 100,000. Like there are a lot of people ordering this course at any given time. So in essence, you can make money while you sleep when you build a course that way, or you can teach something, again, online, live, teach something live, teach something in person, or you can build a course and then let it just do it, what is it? A rolling course where people can enroll at any time and then pay the money. And then it routes to this bank, this savings account that you are not going to touch until it's time for you to buy your house. So guys, listen, I hope that these ideas have been helpful to you. Okay. The goal is to do something to increase your income. A lot of times, again, that is a hurdle. If it's not the credit, then it's the other one, is the finances, having enough money to put down. And that is one of the things that sometimes deter people from buying a house. They don't have the money up front. When you are renting an apartment, you only have to put like maybe 1 month's rent down, sometimes 2 months, but it's not as much as a house, right? So that is what we want to accept the challenge and increase our income. Now, let me just say that some of you can just go to your boss or find another job. But remember, you got to be on your job for 2 years to buy a house. But there are ways for you to generate income or increase your income so that you can purchase a home. This is your year, and I'm so excited for you. Listen, guys, again, I hope that this information has been helpful to you. Feel free to leave some ideas in the comments to help other people. Feel free to leave some ideas in the comments, right? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And listen, whether you are in the market to buy or sell a home, keep your head lifted, your hopes high, and remember that it is not over until the keys are exchanged. Have a blessed day.